The one we're working on now is Drake's Search and Rescue.
Well, you had already alluded to the fact that you really didn't care for either one of these songs too much. I will tell you that this record is one of the better records I think Drake has released as a single in a while, and I'm going to tell you
Mhm.
why. It fits right into the pocket and checks all the boxes
Mhm.
of all the things that he infamously and famously does well.
Yeah, I, I
Even
I
though,
did hear that.
even though if it's not at the same level that it used to be, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But you know, you don't expect the guy that used to bat 330 in their prime to still bat 330. You're kind of happy when
Right.
they bat 305. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not like they're batting 260, they're batting 305. It's just, they've been batting 320, 325, 333 most of their career.
Yeah.
So this is actually a really, really solid record. What I do like about the record is that this is what I mean about Drake is in a pocket where it works for him.
Yeah.
He might be the only male rapper that can have guys and girls sing along to the record and it mean the exact same thing to both sides.
Mm.
That's very difficult to do emotionally. You know what I mean? When he's like, take me out the trap, take me out the, take
Put me
me
on the
out
map.
the club. Like, that's something that the guys and the girls can both say.
Hmm.
And it means the exact same thing.
Yep.
So he knows how to touch, whether people like it or not, especially like, our more hardcore boom bap, like hip hop fans like to admit it though. That style of writing that emotionally knows how to touch a nerve, that
Hmm.
makes the ladies say the same thing that the men say, no, that is a talent. And that is a hard one.
Yeah.
And so this record is him excelling at the things that he excels at. It's just not it's just not 2015 anymore. It's just not 2012 anymore.
Yeah.
But the record is there. And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
overall impressed with it.
Yeah. Like when I heard it, I mean, my reactions were like, yeah, this is clearly Drake. Like this is his like wheelhouse. Um, and again, this is not like my favorite kind of music to listen to, but do did I walk around my house singing it for the rest of the weekend? Did I wake up this morning still singing it in my head? Yeah. Yeah, I did. So like it is hooky. Like it definitely sticks in your head. And he repeats stuff. He repeats all the pieces of it multiple times. And like he is, historically very good at that. I don't want to say I dislike the song. I don't dislike it. It is not my favorite stylistically hip hop kind of song. But like, do I appreciate what he's doing? Yeah. And do I think he does what he's trying to do well? Yeah.
So
Like,
this is what I mean. So, and this is what I mean about it's a funny place or space to be in. Like, I'll tell you what. Let's say this is me. I'm in Atlanta and I'm going to pick up a date.
hmm
The Black Thought just came out, right?
yeah,
I'm playing Search and Rescue by Drake. Everybody knows how I feel about Black Thought. You feel me? That's the
yeah,
thing with Drake. And that's where it's like, oh, it don't matter if you like Drake. Guess what? Your girlfriend like Drake.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that
Hmm.
girl that you after, she like Drake. Yes, she do. And so, like my little sister, yeah, she like Drake. All of them. My older sister, she like Drake. You
Hmm.
better get with the program. Like, I mean, like, you're a married man,
Yeah.
3 daughters, sir.
Yep.
You do what the women say do. And so all
That's my
that,
whole life. Yep.
yep, it's your whole life. So Drake is one of those things. It's like you can get with the program or not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you're gonna feel much, much better about you when you play that record in the car as opposed to playing one of them thought records. She gonna be like, "Who is this? What's this again?" And that's the pocket that Drake thrives in, and this is him thriving in that pocket rail. It's like, yeah, you may not like me, but you got to pick your girl up with this record on.
Hmm.
Because she's gonna
You're
get
gonna
in
be
the
you're
car.
gonna be playing it though.
She's gonna get in the car and she's gonna start bobbing. Come and rescue. Yeah, she
Yep.
got you. He got you good. Got all of us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and like you said, it's really hard to make a song that appeals both ways to that. Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my initial reaction when I heard the lyric to this song was like, "Come the fuck on, dude!" Like, I know 50 women we went to high school with who would be happy to like take on the Drake problem. Like that's like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just single women from one high school, and like clearly he's not having any problems. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, it would be really difficult to have a genuine relationship in his situation. Like, he's like one of the most famous people in the world, which means any woman he ever is associated with is going to get the Meghan Markle, who this bitch think she is treatment. Like, you're going to get the Meghan Markle treatment if you're
Not
walking
only
around with him. Like,
he's he's black, but he's mixed.
mhm,
He's wealthy. He makes hit records. Like, yeah, the woman that would have to be in a relationship with him, unless it's like literally like a Rihanna or a Beyonce,
right,
has way, 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 way more to deal with than he would.
yeah,
And it's usually the man in that position when it's famous people. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And there's the like
Very problematic.
the tenderization of relationships. I made that word up. I don't know if that's a real word or not, but like
Like,
where there's, I mean, there's like a long line of people lined up for him. One would assume, right? And a long line of women willing to do basically whatever to be in a relationship with him. One would assume. So like you can't be in a healthy relationship with somebody who's not going to be able to tell you no, or not going to be able to tell you like you're being an asshole, dude. One of the most important parts of like any kind of relationship really to me is like your partner, whether it's romantic or friendship or whatever, you got to be able to say, hey dude, don't do that every once in a while. And if he has the ability to say, okay, bye, go on to the next one, then you're going to be less likely to say that shit, right? Like,
right. I don't want this to come off as too psychological, but I'm going to kind of break it down like this. This is what I mean about Drake touches certain. And you're right about most of us as men, we hate to admit that without a consistent caress and touch from a woman that we stray.
mm,
Like emotionally, we don't admit to that, but also in like real world, real lifetime of situations, we won't admit to prescribing to that. And listen to what I'm about to say. The toughest thing really for somebody like Drake is the fact that not that because he keeps on telling you he wants to find somebody. You know what the problem is? He's always on the go.
yeah,
And so there's nobody consistent. He doesn't
right,
have what you have. There's nobody there every night. It's not the same person there every night to hold and caress. We as a man, we act like we don't long for that the way women do. That's a lie.
that is a lie. I don't know who says that, but that's not true at all.
It's how we behave. It's not in what we say, it's in what we do and how we behave. Nothing to do with our words, everything to do with our actions. Drake just admits the shit consistently on record. That's the
Mm,
only difference.
yeah,
And that's why it still flies. And that's why not only does he have a lot of female followers, but he has a legion of guys who dig him.
yeah,
Because and even some of half those guys don't want to admit it because he's actually honest about things
yeah,
emotional when it comes to women that are real. Listen to me, that are real
hmm,
that other men and definitely not rappers just don't do. Because really, all these records are really saying is like, man, I wish I could just find one woman
yeah,
like that's for me.
yeah,
But I also understand part of the problem is that my black ass is always on the run, on
yeah,
stage doing a show in a strip club after a show. No, no, no. I'm part of the problem, but
right.
there's a part inside of me as a man. My heart would just like want yes. In any
And the
man,
accepting that in order to have that, you're gonna have to give up some of this other stuff
right,
too, right? Like you have to, yeah,
right. So he's actually coming from a very honest and real place, and quite frankly, that honesty drives women wild. You know what I
mm,
mean? It does. That's why they love him so much because they can't get that talk out of their guy.
mm, yeah,
Right. Their dude's not talking to them that way. Drake is. That's why Drake can come in your city. Like literally, that's why Drake can come in your city and get your girl if he wants. Like seriously. That's why they gravitate to him. He actually helps fill some of their relationship gaps with black men.
mm.
Right. That's why I said I didn't want to
This
get
episode was the opposite of the Metallica.
right. That's why I said I didn't want to get too psychological because it's like,
No, we
oh
have
well,
to though. I mean, that's part of the deal, right?
yeah. But he's touching. That's what I mean. It's like not the best record musically. It's like, oh, but he's touching all those nerves that make him legendary.
Yeah. And it's got the hooks too, right? Like
Part
we
of what
talk all the time about having sing-along hooks on the show, and this has several.
he's easily one of the three best hook writers in the history of rap.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. All the things that make him legendary are on this record. It's just not 2015 or 2012 anymore. And that's what I'm saying is it's like, no, if you would have released this record then, it would have been pretty big then too.
Yeah.
Some of it is just your time. And it's like, even though he's still the guy, it's a different time. And so other people are going to gravitate towards stuff that he's done before and be like, oh, but remember when he did that? It's like, oh, but he already did it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and for those reasons, like overall impressed with the record because it's like, man, that's like when the batter gets into the box after being in the league for 15, 16 years and still knows how to go, 3 for 4 against, one of the toughest pitchers in the game, one of the young studs. You know what I mean?
So he's Miguel Cabrera. Yeah, or somebody like that.
Yeah, he's a little
or
Mickey.
Pujols or somebody like that.
Yeah, Mickey or Pujols right now. It's like, no. Like, you seen what Pujols did in the last stretch last year?
Yeah. He still got it. I mean, he retired now, obviously, but yeah,
Shoji still got it. Mickey just hit a walk-off last night, right?
Yeah.
No. Still got it. Yeah, still that guy.
It makes, and I, actually, to bring, when you brought Black Thought, I wanted to pull this into. This makes actually a perfect contrast with the Black Thought record, too, because that one, the Black Thought record, is really, 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 really good. We've talked about that off camera. It's just excellent. If you have not listened to that, you should go listen to it too. But the lyricism is immaculate on there, and Drake's is much simpler, obviously, and repeated. But guess which one I've walked around my house singing all weekend?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's which one sticks in my head. Yeah,
you're a Roots fan. I know that you're a Black Thought fan.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. Well, no. Drake's doing what he does to win because here's the thing with the Black Thought thing. Black Thought's going to win live when you hear that.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear some of that stuff live, you're going to be like, man, he's so awesome. You know what I mean? And you'll literally be in awe.
Yeah.
But as far as that repeat and repetition while you're in the middle of living your life and running your day, yeah, Drake got you. You know what I mean? Because he's going to get, because what he's legendary at is what he did on that record. He's legendary at the hook. He's legendary for bringing the women in. He's legendary for saying the things that other men won't say. He's legendary for getting men and women to say the same thing on a hook or a break. It's all in that record. It's just not one of his better seasons. And this is what I'm saying when I mean it's not one of his better seasons. It's like, I don't think people understand how many hits this man has really made.
Many. I don't really understand, but like I know there's a bunch.
It's going to be extremely hard. How about this? Asking him to make hits the way that he used to make hits again is that same thing as like people telling Nas to rap like it's Illmatic or it was written again. Okay. It's literally the lyricism that you ever heard. You're probably not getting it again. Stupid. What Drake did hit-wise for hip-hop never been done like that before for that many years so consistently because he wasn't just making hit records for him. Well, Nicki was getting hit records, Wayne, Rick Ross, like you name it. It wasn't just he was making him hit records. He was making hit records on everything that he touched. He did it for like 5 or 6, 7 years straight. It's not happening. Just like the Patriots, like being a viable Super Bowl contender. Teams aren't viable Super Bowl contenders for 20 years, okay?
Yeah.
People don't make hip-hop hits for 5, 6, 7 straight years. It doesn't happen.
Right.
Not consistently. It just doesn't happen. And so if you're going to compare it to what's happened, of course it's going to seem like it's lesser than. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's just a way of looking at it. So, solid record overall. And much like you, not what I normally listen to. I've been playing the Black Thought, but much like you, I've been walking around, take me out the trap.
Yeah, exactly. I've been absolutely walking. I woke up this morning singing that in my head.
Right. Take me out the trap, taking me out the club on the way home all night. I was playing something else.
What's happening, y'all? Thanks for watching this whole video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so we can afford to do more of these. Take care, y'all.